we have this dual nature where there seems to be a witness or a pure consciousness or an awareness, and then there seems to be that which is which we are aware of. Okay, so the observer and the observed. And there's a structure, there's a relationship, and then that continues to grow and blossom to become increasingly diverse. But fundamentally, it starts as we can't say anything about true oneness because true oneness is beyond anything that we could know about, think about, see, observe, comment on, do anything about. It's completely beyond that. You'll never say anything about it in truth. It's impossible. But what we can do is we can observe the structure of the rest of it. So there's a relationship between these aspects, the aspect of the observer and the observed. And through that, all of creation blossoms. So it's all taking place through this dynamic between the observer and the observed. And the fundamental power involved in this is attention. Attention is what actually causes something specific to express. So before attention is directed, then you have undifferentiated potential. And through the power of attention, that becomes directed and it becomes something specific. So it's undifferentiated, non-specific, pure potential. And then through the power of attention, it becomes something specific. And so this is why it's when people want to solve all their problems just by sitting in meditation, meditation is too vague of a term. If people want to solve all their problems by just trying to rest as the self, it's a slow and difficult process because it's failing to recognize that there's a dynamic that's occurring that where there's a process by which the undifferentiated pure potential becomes something specific, becomes something manifest. And that's directed through attention. So when you actually start to utilize your attention consciously, you have the ability to start to consciously participate in this process, in this loop that's the process of creation. Now, again, it's possible and people are free to view this however they want. So if you wanted to choose to just denigrate creation and say creation is just a big mistake, it's just illusory, and it's all pain and suffering, and I'm just going to try and check out, you're free to do that, but then probably there's nothing here for you in this meeting because that's not what I'm talking about. Because I found that doesn't work very well for most people. Certainly didn't work very well for me. It can take a person only so far. It's useful to recognize that just trying to accomplish things in material reality in and of itself is not going to give complete fulfillment. That's useful. It's useful to realize that I am not dependent upon anything that happens here. So my fundamental existence does not depend upon any of the things happening in this world. That's useful to recognize because that gives you a very important perspective. So you're no longer caught up, at least not so caught up, in all of this false sense of urgency, like I have to fix all these problems. My existence depends upon these things. That's very useful, but that's about as far as that can take most people, because for most people, they still have all these unresolved desires and attachments, and just trying to rest as the self, as I said, is too slow of a process, and most people can't pull it off. Certainly not if you're still trying to be engaged in the world.